Ever since I can remember, third-party accessories were always a thing in gaming. At the time of the PSP's release, Sony were really pushing their 6-axis technology, so why didn't they put this into the PSP? There were a bunch of PSP games that would have really benefited from this, so I have no idea why they didn't put it on the system. PSP was revolutionary for its time, and was really advanced for what it was, so why didn't Sony bother putting this in? Well, there was one third-party company that thought the PSP needed tilt controls, so let's look into this. Hello everyone and welcome back to DRT. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at the Tilt FX. This was a little device that was brought out from a third-party company called Datel, and today we're going to be unboxing, having a little look at it, and see how it works on the PSP. So let's get into it. Don't forget, if you like what you're seeing on the channel, don't forget to chuck us a little like and maybe even consider subscribing. Me and Graham would really appreciate it. But for now, let's get into the video. So here we have the Tilt FX. I bought this off Amazon for about £30, and this was just a really cool accessory that I thought this would really improve some of my gaming on the PSP. The ability to be able to play games like Loco Roco or Outrun 2006 just with tilt controls just seemed really appealing to me. So this really spoke to me and I knew I had to go out and get it. So in the packaging, you just get a few things. You get a little instruction guide on how to work the Tilt FX. You get a disc that will allow you to download the software, and you get the little adapter itself which plugs into the PSP. So I thought I'd check it out and try and get the software. This little device is really small and tiny and definitely will not interfere with any of your gaming on the PSP. So I put the disc into my computer and tried to download some of the software. However, it just kept going through like a loop boot cycle, saying that it could not connect to the internet. This really confused me. So I wasn't too sure what I was doing wrong because my PC is connected to the internet via Ethernet and it would just not picking it up. However, I went to Reddit and found out that actually this server has been down for quite some time. This was released back in 2006, and even by 2010 I think the servers were down. So because I've soft modded my PSP, I thought I would try and see if I could get it working with the custom firmware, because there were people on the Reddit sites saying that if you install custom firmware that this will actually work. So one of the games that I wanted to try was the Gottlieb Pinball Collection, because I heard that the Tilt FX works really well with this. However, it didn't seem to do anything at all, and it just, I don't know, it seemed to be cycling through some stuff, and I wasn't too sure if there was an issue with the ROM I downloaded or whether this was just maybe something that just wasn't going to work. So I tried to test out another game following this, which was Outrun 2006. And unfortunately, yeah, the controls just didn't seem to want to work. So, I mean, I really tried to see if it was just maybe, you know, a luck thing or something like that, but no, the ROM was working absolutely fine, and when I tested the buttons, they were all working fine. It was just the Tilt FX wasn't working. I really was hoping that it was just the ROM though, so I thought to myself, I need to try another ROM to see if this is working, but nope, it definitely didn't want to work. All the buttons worked as they should, but the Tilt FX just wouldn't work. So then I went to ChatGPT, where I found out that a thing called Popcorn, which is a plugin that you can put on your PSP. Now, this is a PS1 emulator support plugin. I'm not entirely sure why it works or why it should work, but I went over there and checked out the ARC 4 cores, and it was located in there. So I downloaded all of the files that you were supposed to download with it and put them onto the PSP SD card to try and get this up and running. And it was one of those things where it had all the information built within this to try and get it to work alongside anything that you were trying to use, like a plugin should. So I put that into the folder and created its own little area within the plugin section to try and get this all up and running. I also installed some code just to let it know what to do with the tilt FX, which again was in the Reddit forums, it said to do that. So it had its own specific place that you had to put in within the code in the game txt file. I also downloaded the Popcorn plugin and put that onto my PSP. Once that was all installed, I put the SD card back into it and it recognized the Popcorn plugin. So I thought we might be in with a bit of luck here. However, once I put this back in the PSP and tried to use it with another racing game, it did not work. And the tilt control still didn't recognize or register. So I'm not entirely sure what has actually gone on with this, why I can't get hold of it. One of the other things that I wanted to point out that I did do as well is I've tried to get this back up and running by going to the Wayback Machine on Google and try and find the original website from back in 2006 to about 2011 to see if the software or the ISO was available on there. However, I didn't have any luck with that either, so I'm at a bit of a loss really on what to do with this. I'm sure somewhere out there, someone actually has the ebook file or the ISO to be able to get this up and running. So let me know down in the comments below if you are able to find this file or have this file, because I would really like to get this up and running and do a proper full review on this little device. So unfortunately, I couldn't get this little device to work. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing wrong. It would have just been easier if this file was readily available, but unfortunately it isn't. So I'm kind of at a loss at the moment. I don't know why the PS1 emulator thing works with this particular device. It's not for PS1, it's for the PSP. So if you guys know out there what I'm doing wrong and how I can improve this, please let me know down in the comments below. But I appreciate you checking out this video. This would have been a really cool device if I could get it up and running, and if I can get it up and running in the future, I will be doing another video talking about this little device. But until then, I want to thank everyone for watching, and hopefully we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, everyone.